Addicted, well, it's all in the title. It's about addiction, and really it's about the fine line between the things that you enjoy. Maybe enjoy a little bit too much, especially working in music, especially like, you know, have quite an out there lifestyle. You have to ask yourself the question quite a lot. Is the thing that I'm doing right now like still good for me? Am I still enjoying it, or am I just doing this out of habit? Some of the best things in life, or some of the worst things in life, feel really good to start with. It just depends where you go with that, doesn't it? I think songwriting has always been a diary entry for me. I feel like I can't really cope with life without it, to be honest. I try not to write too much about love and relationships unless it's a more complex dynamic. I try to write about more like diverse subjects. My kind of gender identity, my queerness, whether that's to do with addiction. They're all interesting subjects right now, and that's what I try and write about. Making music is this thing that is in my life, and sometimes I don't know why it's there. And I follow it with a thread back to my childhood, and there's always been this constant. It's always been something to focus on. It's always been something to pour my heart and soul into. What music does for people and communities, when it brings people together, it offers them a soundtrack for life. I think there's also a catharsism, if that's the right word, to my music, and I really like to see people exploring even the darker side of emotions to my music, because I think it's important not to ignore things, and it allows you just that moment to rest and breathe and process whatever is going on for you, and then like get back out into the world feeling fresh again. Yeah, that's what music means to me. It's like a processing of emotions. Hey, there's a train. Yeah, I mean, what an amazing location to record in, under a train station, under a train track. It's been really interesting today, trying to get the takes in between all the train rumblings. But I mean, I also love that kind of stuff. There's a lot of found sound that I try to record in my music. Actually, one of the main crash sounds on the entire album, we were in Zurich, and Gaz, a musician friend of ours, tapped on a railing. It rattled for ages, and that's pretty much been the main cymbal sound for the entire album that I've just released. In terms of like locations and recording and gigging, I think that's where my solo project has always lay, like constantly been on the road and exploring new places. And the beautiful thing about being a singer-songwriter with a guitar is that you're very lightweight. You can do some really small gigs and it will still be kind of worthwhile, whether that's like this well-known like attic gig somewhere in Germany. Communities gather and they have like really top-notch musicians. You're there for the experience. You're there for meeting new people. You're there for just having a very intimate gig. Something about being on tour and being on the road where you don't have to worry about anything else other than this gig, the next gig, and maybe what food is in between. Quite a long time ago, I realised that the guitar was kind of a bit of a means to an end for me. It's very difficult to be a frontman and play beats, so the guitar is fantastic for that. And over the years, with the help of a friend of mine, Diver, we've kind of like constructed this pedal board and effects board. Frequency spectrum is really wide on it. Like, we love having like all these subs constantly, and you know, the delays on the top end of the guitar and some of the vocal harmonizers, that kind of vocoder effect, is very like, I'm taken from different places. People like James Blake and Bon Iver, and like the very subby kick from lots of electronica music that I listen to. My chord progressions tend to derive from more R&B and like jazz influenced music. Yeah, it's all live when I perform. I tried looping, and it doesn't allow me enough space to just improvise. Improvising is such a huge importance. Get the audience singing along, doing something. Like, we are here to connect, and we are here to just have a good time. Like a sound system, but completely improvised. Or like live, you know?